year end always less people. So Beng Suan can conduct meditation today. So we do meditation for a short while. So first of all, I would like to make an announcement. 31st of this month, that means December, we have Medichant. Actually, every year we have. Ever since we moved here, we started that 31st of January, practicing Medichant, meditation and chanting. I think early days we did till morning. Some people stayed till morning. I can remember Aruna is one of the person who stayed until next morning, meditate and chant. But we found it a bit difficult for people. So we do 2 sessions. One session start 7:30, then puja, chanting and meditation, all finish before 9. Then those who are willing to stay longer, they can stay till midnight and meditate and chant. So that's the way we do. So this year also we do the same. So I would like to invite you all to come for this early session. 7:30 puja and chanting at about 8 o'clock. Then 8:30 to 9 o'clock meditation, then can go. So please try to come. We have informed some other people also to begin the year. We will do it. Please try to come. Now we do about 15 minutes of meditation. Metta Bhavana. Metta Bhavana is the most familiar meditation practice besides mindfulness meditation. So I don't have to give some explanations, detailed explanations. All of you are very familiar, but only problem is too many or to all. It is extremely difficult to understand what is metta. Everyday practice, everyday learn about meditation. Still people are practicing something else in the name of metta. That is why we always use the word metta instead of using English word love or loving kindness. In Western countries they translate the word metta as love. In Buddhist countries, especially in Theravada Buddhist countries, we have translated that as loving kindness. But I prefer the word love is better. But in Buddhist countries they use word loving kindness to show to differentiate ordinary love and metta. So metta, we say loving kindness, if not practicing love. I earlier mentioned many people, or almost all the people, are struggling to understand the meaning and with true meaning to practice metta. Almost all the people struggle. When we say metta and translate it as love or loving kindness, we always think to practice love, to practice loving kindness, one must have an attachment. Without being attached to a person, how to practice metta, how to practice loving kindness. Loving kindness is a practice which we have to do with non-attachment. How many times we say, also, people are very much used to think love means attachment. Love can be practiced only with attachment. But if we practice metta or love with attachment, that is not metta. That is not metta. Metta or loving kindness cannot have attachment, any attachment. So this great virtue, metta, was taught by the Buddha. In no other religion it was not taught in that way. The Buddha himself is the greatest symbol of metta. Buddha is the greatest symbol of metta. He practiced metta or love towards all. Before he became the Buddha, as a young man he married. Then became a father. His wife, Princess Yasodhara, delivered a baby. We call the baby's name is Siddhartha. So he had a son. Rahula. So what happened? Later he renounced the world. Then later attained enlightenment, then we call the Buddha. He had his parents. They loved him so much. He also loved them. His relatives, friends. So after attaining enlightenment also, he loved them. He loved all of them more than before. When he was an ordinary man, he called Prince Siddhartha. That time, he loved all those people. But after attaining enlightenment, he loved them more than before. His love was so much. But there is a great difference. There is a great difference, very big gap between the love he practiced as Prince Siddhartha to his wife, his parents, his children, and as the Buddha he practiced towards all those people. The difference is, at first he practiced love with attachment, because he was not free from attachment. He loved all of them with attachment. That time he had attachment. Just like we all ordinary people, when we use the word, when we love, parents love their children, children love their parents, friends love their friends, this happens, that always with attachment. So, in the same way, Prince Siddhartha had the same love towards his people. But after he became Buddha, he loved everybody, still love, but no attachment. Without any attachment, he loved them. So what is greater? The later metta. So after become the Buddha, what he practiced was very much greater. If a person can love others without any kind of attachment, that is the greatest. That is pure, totally pure. The pure love. So, by practicing metta, what we are trying to achieve is that level of love towards everybody, without any discrimination, without thinking of differences of people. We try to love everybody without any type of attachment. Then it will be a pure virtue, pure practice. We can talk about this like this with a lot of details. How far we talk also difficult. Always when we think of the practice of love, attachment comes first. But we have to understand there is a great difference. Metta, true metta is love, but it is without attachment. So we need a lot of effort to develop that great virtue which we call metta. Even the virtue which we call karuna or compassion, also the same. Karuna, we know about 4 noble virtues: metta, love; karuna, compassion; mudita is sympathetic joy; and upekha is equanimity. But I am not going to talk about all these. But karuna, I would like to say something about karuna also. Karuna is compassion. We all know compassion is one of the driving force of a bodhisattva. If a person fully committed to practice virtues to attain enlightenment, become an arahant, Pacceka Buddha, or Samma Sambuddha, he must have, I say he or she, because ladies also can have that effort, practice virtues to attain enlightenment. But according to the history of Buddhas, the last life, everybody has to, if a person wants to become a Buddha, has to be born as a man. But some ladies can argue about that and why like that. I don't want to discuss about that. Anyway, a lady or man, whoever want to practice virtues to attain enlightenment, to become a Buddha, karuna is one of the most powerful driving force. Karuna drive us towards enlightenment, because with great compassion, which we call karuna, we can have so much energy to practice all other virtues to attain enlightenment. So karuna also should be practiced without attachment. Karuna, in Buddhist teaching, karuna or compassion means a virtue without attachment. Also, in a way can say love, a kind of love, but different from metta. Karuna also should be practiced without any attachment. But we many fail to do so. We can see we people go to visit hospitals, actually not the hospital, patients in the hospital. We have a lot of compassion. Out of compassion, we go and visit our friends, relatives, some other known people, sometimes unknown people also. We go and visit them, talk to them, try to make them feel comfortable, try to give them some kind of confidence to overcome their health problems, difficulties. But there is one problem with this. If we are very much closer to those people who are suffering from some health problems, when we talk to them, tears come. Sometimes we cry. We have seen when they see people who are suffering due to health problems, the closer ones cry. They cannot stop crying. Why it happened? It is not that they are very compassionate than others. Those who cry, we cannot say they are more compassionate than people who go and talk to patients, give them some advice, try to make them feel comfort, are not compassionate. Somebody can do it without crying. Some people cry when they are very close to patients. They cannot stop crying. So, those who do not cry, no compassion. Those who cry, more compassionate. It is not true. It is not that those who cry have more compassion. What is the truth? Truth is they have more attachment. It is not the love. It is not love. Those who cry, those who have difficulties to control crying, are more attached to suffering people. Being attached to suffering people and crying is one thing. Not being attached to suffering people, yet being compassionate to them is another thing. And if we can do the second thing, that means we can be very compassionate to people who are suffering and try to help them without crying, without weeping. That is greater. Such people are greater people. They have compassion, still they have a lot of compassion towards suffering people, but they can control their emotions. They have compassion, but negative emotion, which we call feeling sad and crying, is not there. So those people are greater due to many reasons. One of the clearest reasons is, feeling sad and crying. I may have told you before also. I don't say that is wrong. And people who feel sad and cry are wrong, bad people. But when you feel sad and when you cry, what do you have? Only kindness? No. You have anger also. So, in a disguised form, anger is appearing in your heart, in your mind. when people cry, we also feel sad. Poor person has some problems or suffering from something, so crying. But in actual fact, when people cry, we say they are sad. That's not the only thing. They have anger also. You know, children, very easy to find, understand this. When children, we can see they can run here and there, even come to a temple also they run. Suddenly fall down, start crying. If the kid is very small, mother rush and try to stop, try to help. More she tries to help, child cry more and more. If nobody try to help and wait for a while, sometimes stop. Why they cry? Anger, angry, very angry. When they get hurt, when they feel pain as a result of fall down, they are angry and cry. So, crying is almost always linked with anger. So we see somebody who is very close to us is suffering, we feel sad, we cry. That means we are angry with that. But even we do not know it. Without knowing the truth, we cry. So, compassion, true compassion should be practiced without any anger. It should be free from anger. Then it is pure, it is greater. So, metta and compassion we need to understand in this way. If we don't understand, they turn to something else. So love without attachment, compassion without attachment, they are greater, they are pure virtues. So we can practice some meditation now.